Okay, so I'm going to talk about an excerpt from the dilemma, Omnivore's Dilemma, wrote by Michel Pollan. He was a teacher, and he had a master's degree in Columbia University, and his book explained the relationship between nature and food. So he separates his excerpt in 4 parts. The first one is good to eat, good to think, which it's explaining true relationship between neophilia and neophobia. Neophilia is when omnivores like to eat everything they have in their sight, and neophobia is more when your fear is the fear of eating whatever you don't really know. So in the excerpt, they made an experiment with rats, which are also omnivores, and they understand that omnivores, they understand the two emotion of neophobia and neophilia, and they saw that rats had the capability of eating only a small piece of something in order to digest it, and in order to see if it's good for its body or not good for its body, which humans cannot do, because when they eat something, they need hours and hours to digest it. So they saw that rats and humans were not perfectly comparable. Then a second part of the excerpt was the Homo omnivorous, which proved that every human is omnivore and should be omnivore, because they have all things in their body that shows that they need to eat variety of food, and not only, like, for example, herbivores, plants and stuff like this. So for example, they prove that the teeth of humans prove that they need to eat more variety food, that some enzyme in their body were here to break down elastin, which is a protein from meat. And they also explained the how to encounter the omnivore dilemma is by using the sense of taste, and one of them is the disgust. Once you eat something and you find it disgusting, it helps you to be aware of some hazardous and poisonous food that you can have when you taste something. And one of the good tools of the human omnivores is that their ability to cook, which is good for them because they can reduce some poisonous things in their meals, and they also can improve some meals. And in the third part of this excerpt, they are talking about the anxiety of eating, which is which they are talking about the American culture comparison with other cultures, and other cultures are saying that, for example, Asians, they are able to mix, for example, rice with soy sauce, which help them to improve the quality of the rice, or improve the quality of the ingredients they have, which is not really the thing in America, because we don't have a cultural cuisine, and which make them have more difficulties to have good food here. So that's why in other cultures we have better food and better habit. In the fourth part, they are talking about the America's national eating disorder, and they are comparing them again with other cultures, like, for example, Frenchies. For example, when they eat, they're gonna eat maybe like Americans, but they're gonna have other habits that will help them to be more healthy. For example, they're not gonna have snacks during their meals. They're not gonna eat sugars with. They're not gonna eat a lot of sugars in their meal. They're not gonna put more salt than Americans in their food, which make them more healthier than the usual Americans. So that was the excerpt of Omnivore's Dilemma.